Why hello there. Greetings. Now what has come to visit me tonight? Come in, come in. Welcome, dear customer, to the Worn Soul. Please, step inside, get comfortable and rest for a spell. My name is Mathis, and I will be the one tending to you tonight. How lucky of me. Will it only be a table for one this evening? Ah, I see. Is there any preference to where you would like to be seated tonight? You have come at a fine time indeed. Most of the building has been cleared out for the night, and many places are still available for you to enjoy. I would personally recommend the upper loft there, a bit of a secluded space. Most patrons don't even notice it at all, since the building's construction is a bit odd. Nevertheless, it is a fine place to stretch out after a long day. A half and half open concept that is covered by a natural wood roof, with the other half being glass, so the atmosphere can be enjoyed in any weather. Quite nice when it is raining, or at times such as this, when the stars are bright. There is a central hearth with a gas-powered fireplace for you to enjoy while lounging on our rugged yet comfortable couches. Not to mention the enrapturing view of the city below. The soft neon glow mixed with the lights of cars driving below, while the moon shines ever brighter, makes for an excellent setting if I do say so. I find it simply magical up there. There is a rather fine secondary bar of dark walnut, varnished and polished to a sheen that catches the lights woven in the trellises all around. And while it does lack the gravitas of the main bar here, what with its polished ebony wood, inlaid with sterling silver, and a simply breathtaking labradorite countertop, I find pleasant simplicity in a natural dark wood. No need for garish accessory when fine drink are made for even finer patrons, don't you think? So, have we made our decision about seating tonight? Although I might have tipped the scales a bit with a little bias on my part. An excellent choice. If you would allow me to take your coat. Wonderful. Now, if you wouldn't mind terribly following me to your seating. And here we are. Magnificent, isn't it? Simple and cozy. And would you look at that? Seems as if it's quite vacant tonight. Only a few patrons scattered about, and seems as if they've already been tended to. I cannot say that the quieter moments are not welcome. They are a break that can be used for more personal matters. Be that as it may, for the time being, I'm all yours, darling. Oh, please, don't mention it. It is truly my pleasure to serve you. Now, shall we browse the menu? I can't imagine you came all this way just to admire the view, though, from where I stand, it is quite beautiful. The city lights are a bit harsh, but seeing you wreathed in its glow reminds me of the tales of angels I heard as a boy, and I still feel that same sense of awe and wonder from all of those years ago. Well, Angel, have you picked out a drink yet? I assure you that they are all very enjoyable. I take time to make certain that my wonderful patrons get to enjoy the full experience from start to finish. And perhaps another round if they find themselves wanting for more. Having a little trouble deciding. There's quite a few options to choose from. We serve all kinds of drinks here that suit many different tastes. The menu is a bit difficult to navigate, but if you like, I can help you find something that would please you. Why, of course. Allow me to lean in a bit. How about this? Our mulled wine is delectable, one of my personal favorites, so I can highly recommend it. Made in a traditional fashion, a lovely red wine with a pleasant spike of brandy for a bit more liqueur, a few slices of freshly peeled oranges and cinnamon sticks serves as the bulk of the flavor profile, full-bodied and fruity with a sweetener of honey to make it all the more savory. Lastly, our mulling spices, a blend of whole cloves and star anise to bring the entire brew together so wonderfully. I do so love this drink. The depth and complexity of flavors make for an excellent drink to have all on its own, and no need for any meal accompaniment. The perfect drink to have with some pleasant company. And that is something I am all too eager to provide. Enjoying the night is a top priority, Angel. For you and I. So let us enjoy this together, shall we? Of course, if this drink doesn't suit your mood tonight, you can make a request for some of the more simple cocktails, and I can provide them for you with just as much attention and care. I am at your beck and call for the evening, so do feel free to make use of me. So, whatever shall it be tonight, Angel? Have I swayed you once again? I do tend to have that effect on people. So, one mulled wine now and later, well, maybe another tasting. Now sit back and I'll prepare your drink for you. And this recipe was actually taught to me by a lovely older couple in Spain. they enjoyed crafting spirits in the traditional way, and I admit I was quite taken by the process. A fine, detailed approach with decades of experience behind it. Always a treat to watch a master at work. Now, I won't say that my version compares per se, but a different take in order to keep tradition alive is always appreciated, isn't it? When you've been doing this for as long as I have, you grow to have a healthy preference for the classics. How long have I been doing this? Who knows? Surely you can understand the need for a gentleman to keep some air of mystery about himself. However, I can say that I've only worked at this establishment for a few years now. It suits me well, and this profession has opened many paths that have taken me all over the world. Oh yes, I've tended bars in Italy, Spain, England, Romania, and now it has brought me here. All different places with different people, yet after such a long time you begin to notice patterns that keep showing within people. Speech, movement, and other things, written plainly to those who take the time to look for it. My profession does call for a keen attention to detail, and I am more than happy to take note of such things. Would you like me to tell you some of the things I've noticed about you? You are a curious one, wandering into a strange bar simply because you've never been inside before. And yet, you have the oddest feeling. It's strange, you can't quite put your finger on it. Take a moment and the word might come to you. Familiarity. I'm not quite finished, Angel. I also know that you are trusting and somewhat easy to sway. A few honeyed words is usually all it takes to bring you to the loft and to have you drink my favorite cocktail. You've been convinced more often than not, all without the need for a little extra compulsion. Oh, Angel, you seem a bit confused. Yes, of course. To you, this is your first time ever stepping foot into this place, isn't it? Yet, for some reason, you took a different route home tonight than you usually do, bringing you right past this bar, and despite you being tired and worn down, you came inside, not really even knowing why. Poor thing. Compulsion is a rather frightening ability when used in the right way. By now you must have started to notice some of the effects. You've been having headaches, haven't you? Difficult to fall asleep and not getting rest when you do. Losing track of long periods of time. Granted, my skill in the ability spares you from its more terrible aspects. As I said before, it's always a treat to watch a master at work. And I certainly have mastered it. I believe it has been my saving grace ever since I was stolen away by that damnable rift, thrown into this strange world like a sack of unwanted potatoes. Those were simpler times. But one must make the best of a bad situation, shouldn't they? Besides, this world has its perks. The humans here are not as troublesome in comparison. They lacked magic and any real resistance against it. Quite simple to charm them and drink your fill. Although their blood isn't as nourishing, I've found. And I admit, sneaking feedings every so often is rather boring and tends to leave a vampire peckish. What I wouldn't give to drain one completely again. Luckily, since coming to the new world, I have fashioned a bit of a workaround. You see, humans do love to partake of spirits, and what better way to slip compulsion to them than when they are a bit out of sorts? Minimal effort for maximum gain. And this way, they can be flavored any way I would like. Speaking of, aren't you going to finish your drink? Yes. Vampires aren't real. I must have drugged you, you're crazy, etc., etc. Must you do this every time? My, aren't we feeling flighty tonight? You know, it is rather rude to storm off in the middle of a conversation. So please, sit down. And let's continue, shall we? There's a good boy. So obedient. Just how I like them. I could have dominated your mind, but I enjoy the spike that adrenaline gives to the taste, and I can't have it if you're relaxed. Oh, come now. Is it not obvious at this point that there's no way out? Do you really think that calling for help will do anything? I did tell you that all of the patrons have already been tended to, haven't I? Sure, they are there, but not really. Off in the little world I've created for them, just waiting their turn. But tonight is all about you, Angel. My delectable little treat, so don't go about spoiling my meal. Be a good boy and drink. That's it. I want it all gone. Work that throat for me, Angel. A shame that you didn't get to savor it, but I'll be sure to. The heavy taste of blood mixed with my favorite drink, and the cold flash of fear is simply divine. I can hardly wait. Oh, that's right. I don't have to. Resist if you must. This might actually be your last feeding. I've had to use compulsion more and more on you, and honestly, you're getting to be more trouble than you're worth. Better to drain you and be done with you, I think. I'll get my fill either way. Oh, don't be scared, Angel. You should be grateful. You only get to die once. That's much better. Full-bodied and satisfied at last. Well, the fun part is over. Time to dispose of this. Thank you ever so much for choosing the Worn Soul. We hope you enjoyed your final visit. Now what could that be? That slight, tender breath, the shifting of cloth around an aching body that groans in soreness. I see. You finally decided to start testing your wings, haven't you, Angel? I wouldn't try to get up just yet. Take a moment, my dear boy. You'll find that you won't want to rush things too early. Massive blood loss does tend to leave one feeling a bit out of sorts. But, at least for now, I've ensured that you are warm and comfortable, despite the aches and shooting pains that riddle your body. But so long as you lie still, they won't bother you terribly. Oh, you poor thing. Such a sorry state that you're in. Well, that is to be expected. You did have quite the evening after all. You must be wondering where you are. These humble surroundings are one of my properties. A modest one, but does suit my needs quite well. It's humble, as you can see, out of the way, unassuming from the outside, and rarely ever does the wandering eye look too closely. An ineffectual landlord and cheap rent is such a boon to one such as me. But enough of logistical matters. I doubt that you have any interest in humoring them. The topic of tonight, after all, isn't what humors you, rather what humors me. Normally, when my interest in a particular individual wanes, I often tend to finish the job and discard the shriveled carcass of my former meal just to move on to the next, perpetuating the cycle of discovery, debauchery, and death. A cycle which I fully intended to continue with you. Oh, my angel, you were destined to die, pathetic, cold, and alone on the floor of that bar. And yet, here you are, alive and well. Why is that? Well, simply put, I'm bored. I've lived for such a long time on this world, and as of late I've found it so terribly dull. I often find that I have to entertain myself, finding whatever fleeting pleasures come my way, and the void knows that they are fleeting indeed. But still, I've managed to find some joy all the same, in humans like you. I know it's a bit rude to play with my food, but long ago I wondered, if the humans that I select are to die anyway, why not have a bit of fun with their deaths? After all, they don't need to be immediate, or even permanent. I'm proof that life doesn't end when you take your last breath. And oh, what fun there is to be had with that concept. One can get quite creative with it. Yet, I've had my fill for the night, and there's no need to rush things along. For now, let's take comfort in the soft, gentle music I put on for tonight. I found that some jazz does wonders to soothe the ills of the body and mind. But I imagine that a dulcet melody will only do so much for you. It's a mere pittance that won't hold back the memories your mind will slowly recall. And that steady flow of images and emotions trickling back into the forefront. I wonder which ones you're having first. Could it have been the feeling of shaking the cool night air from your body as you stepped into a warm and inviting bar? Perhaps the scent of spices and spirits comes to mind, the two mixing together in a delightful tango that teased the senses with such tempting harmony. Or maybe you recall a pleasant conversation with a stranger, of enjoying the experience of being tended to. No doubt what is surfacing is some blend of all of these things, and more than likely, some other bits of details. The human mind is so very good at clinging to such things, especially in cases of traumatic events. Every small thing happening in passing can leave such profound marks. It's all quite fascinating, don't you think? I see the haze of confusion is lifting. Last night's events are coming back to you, aren't they? Oh, don't fight it, Angel. Let it all rush back to you. It's so much better for you to rip the proverbial bandage off now. But if you insist on hiding behind denial, like a scared child under a blanket, then perhaps I can quicken the process a bit. Look at me, boy. See me. And remember how you were bent and twisted with words, led like a trusting lamb to my favorite spot, where you were flavored and seasoned to my liking. Oh, how your blood swelled, scaldingly hot, but with that distinctive cold taste of fear that blends so very well with a mulled wine accompaniment. I tell you, it was such bliss to take you into my arms, as I've done so many times before. You remember the feeling, don't you? Struggling against a grip like a steel trap. A desperate animal that didn't know that it had already been caught. Then, shock, as the sharp sensation of something pierced your neck. Oh my, there it is. The widening of the eyes, the sudden realization. Have we finally come around, Angel? Tell me, what was it like, having your body betray you? The very thing that has kept you alive for so long, your heart like an anchor, sinking you deeper into that cold abyss, each beat bringing such a chill as more and more of you got stolen away. It was such a delight to feel you grow limp and cold in my grasp before dropping you to the floor like an unwanted piece of garbage. I have not done that in far too long. I tell you, it's so hard to satisfy oneself with blood these days. The quality, unfortunately, just keeps dropping. Humans don't eat as well as they used to, don't care for themselves, and as such, their bodies suffer and lose so much of their flavor. Like a poorly aged wine, dollar store off-brand, instead of something that's actually worth some attention. It's truly disappointing. Such a waste of perfectly good vitae. Oh, Angel, you look like you have something to say. Please, do speak up. I'm all ears. Oh my, aren't you the crude one? Such nasty words from a pretty mouth. A monster, am I? No, not quite. Though I suppose your kind would see me as such. Vampires to you are nothing more than fables, make-believe, fairy tales, monsters that only exist to frighten children. Well, at least you have an idea of how deep the shadows can actually be, and what awaits just beyond the light. Oh, my dear angel, such a rude awakening you've had. Oh, is that right? I won't get away with this. How can you be sure of that? Are you perhaps going to ensure that I don't? Will you rise from the bed and show me what for? Drive this dastardly monster back into the shadows with his tail between his legs? Don't think the same principles of death apply to my kind. Yet more threats. I'm not one for them personally. They are the pointless baying of the weakest among us. But I do so enjoy demonstrations. So, allow me to educate you. Oh my, what seems to be the matter, Angel? You were painting such fantastical scenarios just a moment ago, and I was very much looking forward to some of them. Yet now, when I've simply plucked you out of bed and thrown you to the floor, you crumble and flop about like some kind of pitiful worm. Well, where's your bravado, young man? Stand up and face me. It's what you'd say that you'd do, among other colorful things. So come on, get to it. Were you lying just now, puffing out your chest, and hoping that your pathetic mumblings were enough to intimidate me? Perhaps if you keep talking, then the sight of you writhing on the floor will be less unsightly, though personally, I doubt it. But by all means, go ahead, prove me wrong. I've never had someone try and talk me to death successfully. But maybe your unique brand of pitiful chest thumping will be just what you need. No? Nothing? Well, that's disappointing. But I am a sporting man, so giving you a handicap is not out of the question. You wanted to stand up and fight, so allow me to help you do that. Oh, you poor thing. It's a terrible feeling, isn't it? Right now, I am directing the flow of blood within your body to your muscles, forcing them to move. It's not a perfect skill, so the movement is quite jerky, and in your condition, so delightfully painful. Muscles tearing and overextending as your body literally fights against itself just to get to its feet. But you can do it, can't you? You can bear the feeling of your own blood writhing under the skin, stabbing into tissue and propping you up like a puppet. This would be the second time in recent events that your body has betrayed you. You don't even have the luxury of screaming, not when your jaw is clenched shut so tightly that you can feel your teeth are almost ready to chip. That's enough for now. Angel, don't whimper. Now is the time for listening. Let me put it plainly, in case it hasn't sunk in. You have no chance of getting out of this. You never did. Not since we met quite a while ago. My angel, you lay there as a fresh canvas, and the only question now is what colors shall I paint you? Or do I just kill you again? Either way, I'll make it fun for me. Now, I have some preparations to do, so you just lay on that hard floor, twist it up, and wait. I'll be back soon, Angel. Ah, there you are, my angel. You're late. You would think that humans would be a bit more punctual, what with their pitifully short lives. But I suppose that's more preferable to not arriving at all. Try not to make a habit out of it. I despise tardiness. When I reach out and call to you, your priority is to come to my side, like a faithful dog. Obey quickly, and you might be spared the pull of the leash that flows in your veins. You recall the sensation, don't you? Yes, like pins and needles within your very muscles, puppeteering you to my will. Or perhaps you need a bit of a reminder. No? Fantastic. Perhaps you are learning after all. Come in then, Step across the threshold, my angel, and enter into my domain. There we are. Breathe it in. This is a much better setting than some dingy apartment, isn't it? No peeling wallpaper and old stains of meals long since forgotten here. No, no. Within these walls, one gets to experience a more refined lifestyle. Take it in, angel. I assure you, it is well worth trudging through the cold and frozen muck of this belch of a city. Shining floors, tasteful decor, and exquisite art. Well, at least by this century's standards. How I miss the Baroque, Art Deco, hell, even pop art to a certain degree. So much more expressive in my completely correct opinion, of course. Alas, the modern world has embraced the mediocre in all of its dull and repetitive shades, leaning neither on the natural or the abstract, just pointless streams of consciousness. Ironic, since they usually have little thought at all. Though, I'm sure I'll look back on this style fondly, compared to whatever tripe comes next. In the background of such finery, you, my angel, are so very out of place. Dear, you just look awful. Has sleep not been coming easily? Food tasting like wet clay in your mouth? Even the sound of music seems to have lost some of its vigor. Well, isn't that a shame? But that's what a frequent feeding does, I suppose. Not very surprising that those feelings have been lessened. Oh, do lose that melancholy look, Angel. Surely you had suspicions, at least. A vampire can do many things, extract many aspects of one they feed on. Nourishment being the primary source, of course, but a proficiently powerful one can siphon a victim's very emotions away from them. What did you think the expression, suck the life out of you, meant? That delightful spectrum of feelings, chemicals that lighten the heart or saturate the brain with pleasant feelings. All of those are such delightful spices to my meal. Joy and happiness, so fluffy and light, rich qualities of life. There's no reason to be so morose about it. If it's any consolation to you, those parts of yourself, the ones that are missing, are alive and well within me, entombed in my own vast appetite. It's so much more useful for one such as me to be feeling joy and fulfillment. Don't you agree? After all, what were you doing with it? Oh, you poor human. It must be just awful being suffocated under such grey clouds. No happy little light in sight. And if you must blame somebody, then curse the gods for making you a snivelling, weak little mortal who will never rise beyond their station. As delicious as the joy and the contentment is, I am also looking forward to stripping you of your more negative emotions as well. Anger so hot that it scorches the tongue. Fear like a sharp, cold breeze through the bones. And hopelessness. An exquisite emptiness, as vast as the void itself. I think I'll save that one for last. One final feast before the well runs dry. But what is to become of you? What happens when a human loses every aspect of their feeling and becomes nothing more than an empty husk? Who knows? But whatever the case, I will enjoy every torturous step along the road. All of this talking has me feeling peckish. So, my dear, what do you have to serve me today? I see it in your eyes, my angel. Dread. How delicious. Writhe like a trapped animal all you like. There is no way out. How the fear washes over you, tainting the very air so nicely. You are something to be savored, angel. A full course meal, taken with each bite. Perhaps you'll live long enough to amuse me, to earn a more darker turn of your fate. It's been a while since I've made a protégé. The last few weren't very interesting, I'm sorry to say. Not like my first. He was marvelous, cold as ice, and merciless, in the words of our God. I often wonder, what did become of Leon? But it's rude to bring up old flings, isn't it? Especially when I have a feast waiting to be enjoyed in my arms. Your neck, bruised and tender, how the dark splotches mar your skin. The discomfort that my bites bring you, just a flourish of your taste. Now, do give me a wonderful meal. How delightful. I wonder, will you wake up from this one? Perhaps it would be better for you to die again, right here. But I won't allow it. Not when you have so much more to give. Rest easy, my angel.